Going to walk away with another round and starting to string them together at this point. That's 6 on the board.
And you're seeing the weaknesses of EDG's composition on the defense side. There were 2 players there ready to anchor the site, but they can't really do too much. Jishu's already used his paranoia to try to get out of the really uncomfortable spot he's in, and that neural theft that you were poo-pooing earlier on came through fairly handy, didn't it?
It did help, yeah.
It also gave them an amazing paranoia that knew where both players were and blinded both of them too. FUT are back into this game.
Cage trigger.
Interesting. That is real interesting.
Disguising where you put the cam so that it survives for a little longer.
Yeah, it's a real interesting way to take that C mount control. Early fight there. Taken. Kang.
मेरी जिंदगी में लोड़े लगे पड़े भाई. नेट आता जाता है. नेट का रिचार्ज मैंने फुल मारा है. नेट आता जाता है रहता है. क्यों? क्योंकि नेट मादरचोद है.
And even just pre-firing into tree. Won't catch this guy sleeping right now. Yeah, he is popping off after a relatively slow beginning. Smoggy going for the peak.
What the? 1v5.
Do not use that one. Save that one for another round here. This is a close and shut case here for FUT.
If we want to talk about the odds just for a second, while Smoggy has his as well, it's going to be very difficult for Smoggy to find good opportunities to use that. If he gets picked in a spot like this, even if it's rifles online 5v5, he can't sprint at FUT out through mount. So he's kind of got to save it for retake scenarios.
Okay.
And what we saw from him on the attack side is, often, if things are going well enough that you would want to use the ult, then you didn't need to use the ult. Kang finally gets up in hand.
Okay.
The economy damage that FUT did early on and the fact that they've been winning these rifle rounds has stopped Kang from getting that weapon that he's known for. He is a sniper at his heart. He's picking it up and playing over towards A.
Vision ही अलग है, visually अलग है.
The amount of targets that are going to be afforded to him, few and far between. It's only EDG, and he's not really going to be choosing to opt into that fight as well. The horns and the stun will push him away. Smoggy willing to disrespect control over towards C mount. TP across again. Cloudburst and a flash over the top. This is a beautiful takeaway. You need to kill Smoggy in this spot. He's getting away with murder right now. Only 4 bullets left. But he opts into using the ult to get back into the fight. Doesn't look likely.
CNET's got 2 health. What a whiff from him after he's been playing so well this map.
Yeah, real scrappy. And
they know
real
he's there.
messy. Nice cue given away by the cage, and Simon gives up his life. This is all over the place at this point here, but FUT still in that driving seat despite damage done to CNET and Ada captain.
EDG need a huge play from somebody now.
And Kang
Okay.
Question is it even enough? Far length plant, stuck and committed. Extension now into the round, into the post plant. Paranoia is set up, Prowler as well. That gets the confirmation and acknowledgement, but a shot missed. Overdrive round to the side in the corner. No one to play off of it. In for the back of the side, lining them all up. Kang with 3. Nightfall is beautiful. Last one left, and he is gone.
They needed a miracle, and Kang delivered. Of course it was him. The op shot on the entry, the pop of the overdrive. Following up off the back of his initiator utility and dodging that breach shot.
Omen का blind वाकई बहुत
completely stuck there. Not a great post plant setup either from FUT, trying to play very heavy on site against that Nightfall. Difficult.
वहाँ पे जो 2 trade निकाले.
But there you go. As soon as you get the op into Kang's hand, suddenly the defense looks like it works.
जो कि Omen और Cypher का था, वो बहुत important था.
Value earned. EDG stem the bleeding.
All they are coming here,
and they still, of course, hold the advantage in terms of rounds. This time, adjusting and moving into that positioning. Kang offering
spamming चालू है भाई, spamming.
And the cage did not defend the cam this time.
वो definitely इसी पे नहीं जाएंगे because of उनको पता चल गया है कि
FUT are also jump peeking this at the start every time.
बहुत ही पास.
They do that jump peek from on top of the boxes where you can just get your head over the top and see if there's an opper playing C.
क्योंकि क्या है कि बी पे अगर मैं भी अगर लोटस खेल रहा हूँ तो बी पे बहुत सारी ये ओमेन
intelligent way to try and get your way and slip past into the side as well.
Okay,
still set up, still lands 2. My goodness, he was under a tremendous amount of pressure. EDG now, that lifeline is delivered, and this could be that 12th round that they were looking for. TP, evacuation, backing away, pit into the post, and Smoggy's fast, rapid into it, ult, not dead yet, he's back into the fray, back into the fight, pressing forwards, that is absurd. Sees though, connects onto the feed, and had a captain rooted to the side, needs the bailout, but spraying and praying.
Captain.
Kang left alone now. In a 1v2, just the operator in his hands, you might have to call this one quits.
If he goes for it, he won't be able to buy an up again. EDG are at 11. They're already in the lead. You don't need to take risks like this and potentially lose a weapon that's so important for making your defense function. So as heartbreaking as it is, he's got to just let this one slip away. EDG is creeping.
He's hunting it out.
He's hearing.
Yeah, but the question is, will they be able to catch him? This guy is going to be lightning fast, getting all the way away from them, hearing the sound cues.
Sound तो आया, पर वो उन्होंने भी नहीं ट्रेड किया because of obviously save करना चाहेंगे.
Maniacal from Smoggy and nobody. The lack of coordination on that play is baffling for a team that has otherwise been playing fairly well today.
Yeah, I mean this
push forwards, nobody's supposed to trade this, right? And instead nobody backs up and throws a seize. I mean, get on the same page, please. If you're going to be making a play like that, they're chuckling about it now. But this gap is lowered to 3, and they're on an eco.
A little bit of bite towards the round, at least the Guardian, the rifle, the up, but as you said, Josh, the gap is narrowing. Odin spam away from Fallen just to cover the retreat. CNED, dash expended nice and early.
I think the reason that this composition works for EDG, though, is that they have good enough players. Someone gets them around. And in a situation like this, the economy doesn't look good, but FUT are going to be cautious, they're going to be slow, and EDG are going to be taking risks.
Again,
You will often see thrifties converted
फिर से
in
पे
high-pressure
वो
moments like this.
जाने की मैं भी कोशिश करेंगे या फिर भी जाएंगे. मुझे लगता है ए पे प्लांट होगा. और ओमेन यहाँ पे फिर से और यहाँ पे ओमेन अगर तकलीफ दे the fade is here और गया भाई. Classic से मारा है. Jet को classic से मारा है
actually cause some harm, but really no worse for the wear here from the FUT players. They do survive and get that plant down for them.
4v3, 3v4.
Difficult task ahead. The question of what they really want to commit to this one. Simon's ult in the back pocket. Do you save this one still with the gap closing? Swap around with the weaponry. Rifle now into the hands of Kang. Smoggy holds the approach. Perch stop gliding forwards, an attempt to play off of that util, but now the counter spam.
How do you get the op out?
And the counter play. How do you get the op out? It's hard committed.
Spam करना चालू कर दिया.
But this flash lamp flicks it up to the side as well. Time is ticking away from it. Will collect at least the one kill. The peak of the util is perfection. And right from behind with the wrap around. The op will not survive another day. Up to 9 now for FUT. The gap now just 2 rounds away from equalizing.
That's the risk of taking a weapon like that, heavily committed into an eco situation. You're unlikely to win. One player's coming in there without a weapon in hand.
What
you
a
don't
play,
want to use your big ultimate on Simon because you want to save that for the future. The same logic should apply to the op.
So, all right,
they don't have that to work with. Can they make the ult work for them?
9 पे आ गई.
Closes to 2.
भाई कुछ तो है.
See, completely open.
मैंने देखा ना, मैंने बोला ना कि
defensive side has holes in it every single round.
Insanely as well. This hard
वो insane है मतलब हाँ.
Just already
बात है
going to move over towards the C side. EDG wants nothing to do with the A contestation. He can feel the pincer. They tried that move on him before. He's not going to fall prey for it this time. He survives and tries to play for his life.
So last time they also planted towards Mound, didn't take any spawn or waterfall control.
और यहाँ पे Cypher 3.
This time trying to play for Mound here. Somebody goes to EDG, you absolute madman. Paranoid up though, blinded, he needs some help and bailout. Will be afforded a wrist played. Now as the squeeze is coming in, rolling thunder, at least to relieve that pressure. Smoggy is ridiculous. Can't quite squeeze himself right through the doors. It just closes shut between him and the site. It's going to be flipped around once more. FUT though, only 2 of their players surviving. One ways. Blooming and blossoming FUT are scrambling now. Players rummaging and rumbling towards the site. This is just absolutely absurd for Fallen to deal with. Damage done. Dodging and weaving. Phantom in hand. See the last one left, but not for much longer.
I don't understand how FUT can have seen that exact idea come out from EDG before, recognize it in the first 10 seconds of the round, and decide to fight Mound control.
अगर वहाँ पे अगर Cypher fight ना लेता ना तो वो एक
you're going to get pushed from the back. Why not reactively yourself push forwards and plant for spawn? Go and take spawn control. Go and take waterfall. Plant for those positions that you can fight over.
Right,
and instead,
अगर तुम साइड का पूरा सी साइड पे अगर सी साइड पे अगर तुमने प्लांट किया तो पूरा कंट्रोल ले लो, पूरे बैठो वहीं पे, पूरा कंट्रोल एरिया कंट्रोल ले लो। नहीं तुम पुश कर दिए, तुम आगे बढ़ दिए, तो वहाँ पे एक गलती हो गई। फुट की वहाँ पे एक गलती हो गई, उन्होंने खुद पुश किया वहाँ पे, वो आ रहे थे तब।
A back-to-back tactical timeout. EDG also taking a tac timeout off the back of this?
Not too sure.
ये भी राउंड, अगला वाला राउंड निकालेगी 101%.
Possible.
But EDG पे भी कोई मैं बोल नहीं सकता वैसे कि हाँ वो
looking long.
Yeah, it is looking long, isn't it? Yeah. Says EDG timeout.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, well. Yeah, I mean, they probably need another strategy here, right? FUT are going to learn from their mistakes. You can't just run the same push out B, push out A strat to get to 13. Probably. So what do you do to be able to get over the line here? They've been winning about 1 in 3, 1 in 4 defense rounds. I mean, 1 in 4 puts them at overtime.
Ultimate दोनों के पास कोई ultimate
you just need the one.
Attacking के पास
already mentioned it can come from any one of these players. They're talented and skilled enough to be able to do so.
Okay, oh!
Unconnecting though, and a bit of counter spam. Just the
rifles in hand.
That's nice work. Spike's going to be dropped down hard, committed and past that point of really no return. FUT though have to make some compromises. EDG opening this door with a paranoia swing.
Okay.
This guy is a menace.
Cypher.
And he is going to save the day, isn't he? Simon quick on their trail, right from behind. Will FUT make the same mistake?
Cypher ने बदल दिया भाई, पूरा Cypher ने बदल दिया।
Yeah, now they're planting towards spawn. But Mr. Fallen doesn't feel confident about getting over there. He has a teleport. They've actually planted for spawn and playing waterfall. And no one's playing spawn.
Deep Sea's close, Haunt as well, smokes in their face, EDG, chances, nobody's primed and ready, and now the ult's let loose. This guy might have found that chance, follow the trail, and you might be rewarded just with the map win, but as it fades away, Classic in hand, you gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me! Nobody! My God! That's how the map finishes! Ridiculous fashion! EDG
what a game! What a game! मुझे लास्ट में क्या लगा?
It could come from anywhere. I think the season through pulled EDG off the high ground.
There's no way.
I think so.
I'm wrong.
Series electric all the way through. And guess what? Plenty more maps left to come potentially. We'll see you soon.
आइसबॉक्स वाली मैच देखते उनके।
Some adjustments is Forsaken's going to be flipping over
PayperX and G2.
Yeah, I'm a fan of it. I've never really seen the value of the KO over the Silva on this map. I think that drone is kind of an invaluable tool to have. Although kind of playing exploitatively against the Harbor comp, I don't think it's bad. But overall, good adjustment here.
Yeah,
भाई
PayperX defending, attacking में क्या है?
Ideas they changed to that recently and beat Leviathan on this map. I think they look really good with it. I was impressed with how well Valen was playing on the Harbor.
I'm curious to see how practice this Silva looks. It's not something Forsaken has played much of in his career, something around 20 games worth.
That's right. Well, let's go ahead and jump into the action, shall we? And all that's left to do, send it over to your casters. It's my BFFs from EMEA. You got Mitch and Tom on the call.
Thank you, buddy. Yes, it's time to get on into this matchup. PayperX and G2, it's going to be hype. You've heard from the desk theories about it being a mismatch in style. What's your take on that, Tom?
The thing is, I feel like you can go into so many games with PayperX. It really doesn't seem like their styles going to match up, and then they win 33, and you're going, okay then, like that's just how it is. They've come into this tournament, you kind of look at them and going, okay, they're not where they've been over the last year or so. Like you go back to last year, this was a team that was basically dominating Pacific, got to the finals of champions. It's been a slow, seemingly decline, but at any moment you always feel like this team can come back. For G2, it has been an accelerated rise. You wouldn't think that this was a team coming in from Ascension, and now, well, they're one of the contenders.
Well, they absolutely are. G2 have looked fantastic, and even within Americas, they made the whole run all the way to the grand finals without dropping a series. This is a squad that PaperX definitely can't underestimate, and well, if Mimi's right, and the matchup in style is going to be different, could give the edge over to that G2 squad. Attack side to start it out here on Icebox, and a slow push up to the A site. Spike waiting outside B. They're just taking space, contesting for some of those angles. PaperX yet to react.
But that's the thing, the defensive side for PaperX, at least on A, it's that brawly old school style. You got the Sage, you got something, they're just looking for fights. They're looking to try and battle. And this ruse has already been sold. There was only one defender, more of a retake setup for PaperX, and I'll be honest with you, I think they're going to have to retake.
Yeah, there's not much of a choice here. Even the spam's not going to yield much if they were to go for them. Instead, grouping up the blob play, just leaving something to go through the kitchen, while the rest look for the site control. Now G2 have their post plans. Nobody sent out to mid just yet, but I see Valen checking the flank, and perhaps that'll be late flank. Indeed, he's on his way. The timer starts ticking now for PaperX to get on that spike and start the defuse. Back yellow fight is the main point of contention, still being held onto by Leaf, getting closer to block that defuse around the wall, and they're dropping bodies all over the place. Only left to Divide, and he's quickly shut down. Valen's made it through on the flank, but the time's already gone. It's 1-0 for G2.
Yeah, it's not the greatest start either. When you look at it from PaperX, like this is a composition for G2 that you really don't want to allow them to get into those post plants. Like the whole setup is you don't have that duelist because you have tons of utility to get you in and then plenty to get you out. And obviously the idea from PaperX is try and use the wall to your advantage, but you can see G2 are more than happy to re-aggress. And this is a round where they're low on utility as well. Like you're not going to have those major investments as you'll see in future rounds. It's only going to get more and more difficult for the side of PaperX, the more economy advantage we see for G2. Early days though, am I going to see some investment back into a few pistols? Again, a stack up on the A site, expecting the pressure to be there. Well, I think Divine might have been spotted by the drone.
Yeah, he popped up on the mini-map, nice and easy. Leafs even managed to find Jing, but at the cost of his life, still just a pistol lost, while they take control on the other side of the map and get the plant down. Again, we're going to see the post-plant setup, and the dangers of this round. Often you will see a bit of a danger if someone like Jing is still alive to put the wall down. Potentially, they can get a decent amount of ground on the defuse. We've certainly seen that in EMEA a couple of times.
Something to backstab kar raha hai.
And on or under the wall, he's just as effective. But for PaperX, they don't have that option. And so it's going to be a pretty difficult time trying to do anything in the way of damage. Something's made it up behind, though, and he might be able to drop a few weapons. A few nice shots with Trent down, and another to Jonah P. This is getting quite costly for G2. And something didn't look to be stopped anytime soon, but Valen steps in. Still, 2 rifles carried forward. That's decent damage for PaperX.
Yeah, no, that's really not bad, especially out of so little. Him being able to do that much damage. He's a couple away from a Blade Storm, immediately going to invest straight into the Outlaw, which, again, I think if there's going to be win conditions, you're always going to look at the individuals on PaperX. Like, they're a team that a lot of the time they're talking about the idea of rolling without an IGL. Like, you know that it's going to come down to those individual fights. If this man can start off strong, there's been so many highlights. Like, I think of even like the first week he played Jet on this map. He had one of the craziest like Blade Storm plays you've ever seen in your entire life. So you always have to watch out. And for G2 in this round, there is going to be a piece missing. Of course, it's the 3 rifles. If you lose one, you're only going to have those extra couple brought back up. Not going to overinvest. But they do have themselves Thrash, the only ultimate that will be available in this round, unless, as said, something gets a couple of extra kills.
Well, Harbor's using all his utility to clear out these angles. They've gained space, but towards A, poking and prodding the bear, trying to see where the aggression was coming through. They found out the hard way. The Outlaw was posted up. Mid-push from PaperX. A very late flank attempt by Jonah P. Better find value because Valen's gone down through the spams. And now PaperX gearing up for a retake. Just 2 players defending around that angle. Still the Killjoy utility on, so it's not like Jonah P is going to get a free fight onto these guys unaware.
That goes too far.
Yeah, it might just be out of range right about now, but the problem is there's no one else left to draw their eye. It's only Jonah P. And, well, his chances of stopping this diffuse are anyway. 0.
Like, even though the utility had gone offline, when you have 5 players alive and only 1 on the other side, you start to make the realization of where that player is. For G2, okay, you would have wanted to do a little bit of extra damage, but they can hold the rifle and they're going to be able to buy into this next round. That is the thing, though. You go towards the A site, as long as something's there, which you will be in most rounds, you're going to have to challenge him. You're going to have to fight him, and I believe that was just low shields in this round for Leaf, so something that, again, they're going to have to keep in mind for future. But I don't mind what Paytm are doing at the moment, even though, as said, it's always going to be tough to play those retakes if the weaponry's online and if G2 have all their utility. They're basically just relying on, okay, can we spam someone down? Because they aren't really using much to sort of protect that player.
Well, early game plan's going to be a little bit of scouting coming in from Thrash, gone back around to the back of Yellow, so nice and easy to retrieve that.
Look how far up they are.
Yeah. Big push from Paytm. They've gone through A main, starting to make that flank come through, and there could be a fight in the moment with Leaf. He's gone back to put his trap in play, and his alarm bot does cover all the angles. He's sticking around as well to try to execute. It's going to be a tough fight, though. Something and Jing hot on his tail.
And now they know. Immediately, Thrash is going to be utilized, and you can see something almost trying to bait it out, but instead it's going to be Jing caught. Can he try and defend him? No, he can't. Both players eliminated. And now the rest trying to wrap around the site. Jonah P, good position, tries to use the timing, but goes down. But again, those trades are immediate from the G2 side. The fundamentals looking strong, and Valen looking even stronger. 3-1, immediate response. And I feel like Paytm is going to have to change things up because they are allowing that plant down every round on B.
Yeah, I mean, the idea here, you're trading out the early plant for the early flank. It's not a bad trade-off just for the fact that there's a Thrash available and that they use it so quickly and get it right into the correct position, the player up closest to one caught, and the fight initiated on the one further back. And once you eliminate something in Jing, well, the round gets a whole lot easier. 3-1 for G2, a solid start. Now a big challenge, though. Round 5 sees Paytm still investing, and with no shields, something's pulled out the operator. Glass cannon, it's a risk, but it just might pay off.
He could have just played Bladestorm as well, so it really does show the faith he has in that gun. But he went over to the B side early. They tried to make that adaptation. They tried to catch G2, but instead they put early pressure onto the A side. A mid-lurk as well from Jonah P looking to try and take space, although it does seem like they have eyes in the form of the turret and in the form of a player not too far away.
I think that was through the orb. The orb was up when that spam came in and through a wall as well.
He's broken it for his teammates so that Jonah P can take the space. Like, maybe they consider that someone could have already crossed, but you can see that on the other side, Forsaken is watching me. He's keeping an eye on it, but he has no idea that somebody's already in kitchen.
Yeah, you're expecting that cross to be the player that was further back, breaking the turret. Now Jing taking down Icy, a good start. Spike on the floor, but there's Jonah P's flank coming into fruition. Devi tries to hold the space. Spike down, and they want to keep that control. Jing's coming in to support up top. It's a big swing and one that works out, leaving Jonah P, the flanker, to do it all. Something gets a second lease of life, and with the off, that might be all he needs, but Jonah P really starting to take a bite out of this round. 20 seconds left, though. Spike quite far away, defended by Devi, and an op on the rotation. A near impossible situation.
Time.
A little bit of an overextension from Jing. There is still a chance if he can quickly find this kill, but I think it's patient from Devi. He actually gets away. Now, there is a chance for him to plant at the back of the site. It's only going to be the sprint straight away, just trying to deny him while Devi, great round from him. It's going to make sure that does not happen.
Got a little bit scary. It really did. He had the opportunities, and there was a moment where something went down, right? He's 26 HP. One more bullet landed precisely. He could have been out of the game, and then that 1v1 might have even been taken on the spike. But the round ultimately falls into the hands of Paytm 3-2. Wow. Jing was lucky to avoid that in the first place.
Yeah, I think good ultimate from Forsaken, managing to cause sort of some disruption while Jing goes to swing. And then also the fact that he escapes, because I think Jing is almost immediately traded out from that mid-lurk. And that is, again, something that G2 are doing very well, is just selling false information, like breaking that turret from a player further back, a clear plan to give space.
Turret up top, did it see him? Well, it doesn't matter. Something's got the kill anyways. It was broken from further back. A nice setup for PaperX. And then they fill in the space. You know they're not likely to challenge that a second time. The push-up, though, it's going to be a little risky. Something's being surrounded on all sides. Jinx kept control over main, but they've lost the site itself. A nice kill by Mindfreak makes this a little bit more competitive. G2 down and out. Icy's the last man standing. 1v4, 5 HP on Mindfreak.
Nice.
That's probably the only thing we can look to as a positive. He's got some utility. That'll buy him some time. The wraparound up towards heaven. And they still think that he's pretty close. The alarm bells should be ringing, and now, well, now they've got the information on exactly where he is. Got to deal with this guy, but a double swing should put him in the ground. It's a little early for Mindfreak, but he hits the shot.
This guy is popping up in this round again. I feel like there were players getting caught out by the Reckoning, like forced out of position. The G2 players knew exactly where they were, but they're just hitting their shots. Like Mindfreak does very well to have that aggressive push initially, fallback that still catches the player mid. And again, I don't necessarily mind the adaptation from G2. It's like, okay, they take an aggressive B control. Let's try and quickly split through mid. But it seemed like even though that control had been given up, PaperX were very aware. And wow, Mindfreak just playing with absolute confidence. Don't expect anything else.
Well, yeah, at this stage especially. Something as well with the early picks. He's been up there. You can see the reality behind that operator buy, why they wanted to go for it so early on with the light shields. Good setup in the last towards B. Now an opportunity for him on the A side. Early aggression coming out. All pushing up, covered by Jing yet again. Always has that second man behind him, but the wall's going to concede the space. They fall back, set up for another pick. Good space taking.
The guns, it has to be a faster pace take. Yeah, Jonah P's the only one that actually has a rifle. They haven't spotted him. He's got way too far, but it's only going to be the one. And now the rest, well, an immediate res to bring another back from the fray.
Now the shorty kill as well. Something farming them up. It's Icy left alone. Again, a 1v5 this time, and not one he'll find. But a little mistake from PaperX. Probably good they got it out of the way in this round, but Divide moves out of range of that alarm bot, and at just the right second, someone walking past it, and Jonah P's flanks have been definitely something that's going to get in the back of PaperX's head if it keeps up.
Yeah, I think the only thing that's unfortunate for the side of G2 is that...
Let's go. Match शुरू हो गई है. Match शुरू हो गई है. Food.
Yeah, mine is what we're looking at already. Seeing adjustments. Just on the composition side here, FUT moving away from like the Omen is a bit more unconventional from them, and also the KO when they go into the box standards, that trying to really just mirror match it in terms of that metacon that's really just dominated this map.
Going to be a completely different bind compared to Lotus, where on Lotus we saw two teams with non-meta aligning identities clashing against each other, trying to figure each other out live. This is going to be who can come up with the better game plans with the bind comp at the moment. Almost all of the top teams are playing. And they're playing it for a reason. It's got really good reclearability, plant denial, all of this kind of stuff. And also, roughly speaking, fits what these teams want to be putting their players onto. So now it comes down to execution.
Yoru. Teams have had plenty of time to discuss and talk as well. I mean, there's nothing really to carry away too much from that initial map, as you know, we were hearing from the coaching reviews. Barely a pissed around getting away from FUT that really would have made them even competitive to even drag it to OT potentially, but smallest of differences. And now we look towards Bind to see if we will get that map number 3. It's all just going to end here for EDG. A nice, great beginning, to be honest. They'd love to win this one in a 2-0 fashion after the kind of horrific beginning that they had in Shanghai.
That's absolutely true. And FUT did have a really strong Shanghai performance. They beat Leviathan, they beat Fnatic. These are big scalps for FUT to have taken. But they were 1-1 against the Chinese squads. Don't forget, FUT lost to FPX. And with Trace beating Vitality and FPX close to Team Heretics at this event, might be time for EDG to take another big win of their own.
Let's get to it then.
Let's go.
EDG with a setup here, nice early haunt up and over the top. That's not going to be pre-aimed. I mean, I think it's supposed to be landing on top of the grate as well, but it ended up missing and still getting the value here. Spam shots fired right through the smoke. In through a short, jump spot not punished. Kang over the nade. Push them back and away on either side here. It's a battle on multiple fronts and a wrap around by Mr. Fallen. Unexpected. Here's the footsteps. Pitter-patter of it. Simon.
There's another one coming though.
But yeah, Fallen. A lot of areas to look for. Just can't quite manage to just get a handle on any of them.
Timing.
At this point here, pistol round.
4v2. obviously EDG. Around EDG.
Distant dream for this FUT team. They got CNED and EDG still holding on standby. And with that fight lost, really no chance in hell. CNED would have to toggle the players' EDG positions. EDG not giving anything away, just a slight jiggle, and Simon, he squares up to him. Enough to deliver that final blow. Bullet to the brain. And a pistol round again gained here for EDG.
Nice one from EDG. They kept it fairly simple. That whole lineup, actually, that is where that's supposed to land. Simon throws that one all the time. It is weird because you can throw one on top of the grate. DRX kind of deal. But the fact that FUT weren't ready for it, to me, is a bit of a worrying sign for the Turkish team. Because that's the one that Simon throws every single time on this map. And so if you're not ready to pre-aim that, you're probably not ready for a lot of the other stuff they're going to bring to bind. It's probably not a map that you've done a lot of anti on coming into this match. Because the middle of the map pools for both of these teams are very similar. It could have been Bind, Sunset, Icebox, any of those maps that EDG ended up picking.
Woo. Nobody just needs to survive with this rifle into his hands as well. He's got plenty of players that are trying to bring him down with a horn, pointing him out. So offsets and hands that rifle. Here's the adjustment. Reaction out of EDG.
Chichu could go down here as well.
Okay. It's already into their faces. Chichu could have gone down, but he's going to be trying to sink this one up. CNED running them down with a shorty. Kang, quick to respond. Dropping all of them.
क्या हो क्या रहा है मतलब वहाँ पे फुट गया है क्यों था
Bulldog here. Captain's grasp, but
बहुत दूर था
2v3, you're smoked off.
ये राउंड भी EDG के हाथ में ही है.
It's going to be available in at least 4 seconds, but
smoke
predictable.
तो अपना काम करेगा
Pathing, so EDG.
सारों aim तो उसी तरह पे. Save तो कर ही नहीं सकते क्योंकि बंदूक है बस. Ability बस save कर सकते हो.
If they go for this and they die and it's recoverable, that's a problem.
Kang eager to hunt down these kills as well. Built up 3 already. Spike's ticking. Yeah, you got to respect that one now at this point, but already steadily building up towards that ult. 4 away, you got to think. You farm up some quick orbs. If FUT were giving up extremity control that easily from what we saw in the pistol round.
And EDG, with a bit of damage done there to their economy, are going to be able to take 1 less gun into this next round. Somebody's going to have to go onto an eco. But they'll still be fine. They'll still put a pretty dangerous balance. Kankan at the moment is finding a lot of value out of the Sheriff. He's just running around body-shotting everybody.
Enemy remaining.
He's finding value from it.
Yeah. He's sitting at the top. So, bonus round.
पूरे body shot लग रहे.
EDG looking to try and convert this one as well.
और बंदे YouTube पे वीडियो बना के थक गए भाई.
Postured away.
ये कैसे बनाया भाई? Headshot कैसे लगाया ये लावड़ा लस्सी.
EDG already going to be offloading that one. He's a mosh pit through the TP, not much else behind it. EDG having to wait most of this out. Dizzy up and over the top. Nade rebounds. Smokey's all the way in there as well. He's the first point of the contact. Rifles though. That is ridiculous.
What the fuck?
The Turkish aim classic rears its head for a flawless shutdown at a bonus round.
Very nicely done there from FUT. EDG are going to mostly be running when they exec A, 4-1 execs. They have Chishu, late backstab showers, and the other 4 come down short. Slightly different to how other teams do it. A lot of other teams will be running their fade, kind of coming through showers, like Simon did this time. It's not standard for EDG. But FUT dealt with it all the same. No problems whatsoever. But that was a weaker buy.
I thought
and arguably the side that FUT are looking to lock down the heaviest. They've got 3 players on A defending, whereas Mr. Fallen and Ada Captain quite alone over here on the B side of the map.
Half full bike here.
Very much alone. There's no punish as well on the ore pickup. Prowler and a boombot. It's going to be used to try and take that B-long control mosh pit on top of it. Nobody just making sure that they can hold on and take that space there. Chichu is also trying to feign like there could be the potential of the lurk, but it does lock 2 of the players at least onto that angle on FUT side. Wrapping all the way around. Is nobody going to try and sell a fake here? What's the play?
I think the fake might be on B here actually, and then they go through the teleport. Just judging by where Chishu is.
Have that fire showers control, and someone's going to have to break that.
Well, that's not bad though. I mean, knowing that there's 2 players over there, Krax is still going to rotate though. He smells a rat.
Yeah, he feels it, doesn't he? With them losing that showers control, here's the TP now FUT going to be asked the question, can they hold this one back? Nade's already rebounded nice and early with the C's. Good connection and a good answer.
What a combo.
So, Satchel's a little bit iffy there, not able to get out of dodge as the Haunt wasn't pre-fired, revealed up most of them. They've lost a little bit of control of this one. EDG will have to respond, and he will do so. Wrapping it all the way through. Beautiful control with a rifle. Smoggy trying to go straight back at him, blow for blow into the 1v1 time. Getting against him, Kang gonna get this spike planted down.
He gets
Showstopper. Puts it online. Showstopper here and ready. Satchel's away, still with a rifle. Now lets it loose. Another captain, you've got to be fearing for your life. Not a sound, mate, not a peep. Doesn't want to give anything away, just has to wait this one out along with the fuse with the pre-fire into the corner. Misjudged by Kang. It was a gamble in the end, but he does reposition with it now. Ada captain, hello, sticking this. Have revealed, but a bullet to the dome. Enough to deliver that third round now for EDG.
It's Kang there who wins the clutch. A little fortunate that he had that showstopper, because otherwise, Ada captain was breathing down his neck. But it's not Kang really that secures the round for them. The Smoggy 3K, it just comes out of nowhere. Smoggy over here, being able to get the kill onto CNED is fair enough. But then, beautiful 1v2 onto Mr. Fallen and Cracks. And that makes the round winnable for EDG. Otherwise, FUT had the read. Their macro play was better.
Viper's Pit online now for FUT as well. Should make it a little bit less complicated for the defensive calling. That has been a problem, as you already highlighted.
It's the rifling, really?
Yeah. Winning the fights out.
Yeah, rifling and also some of the micro stuff.
Now the captain is hyper committed. Over towards that B-long angle. Cena just watching too. That's a nade used relatively early. To no avail, to be honest. I mean, EDG are happy to just sidestep it out. A bit of spam though and bullets, you can't really disrespect that. And here's an attempt that he executes a mosh over the top. It actually cancels the ult. Mr. Fallen loses control of it. The Thrash will get a second round of things as long as he waits it out. 7 seconds and counting, but EDG going a bit slow and now attempting to speed it up. The tempo increased, that power from Kang. No results found. Rifles in the hands of FUT. They want to put a stop to this one. The battle lines are drawn into the sand with the TPs here, and now a Thrash as well to try and at least collect a few more. No, broken just before he can step past it.
2 spotted though, I think.
Yeah, and Chichu and Smoggy. Positions are noted now. Just down to Smoggy. 41 health and the pre-aim. Onto the ankle, EDG.
Not a fan of that hookah flood from EDG. I think working the outsides of the map, making sure that they have B-long control is going to be crucial, critical against the way that FUT are playing. The defensive setups are remarkably good, actually, from FUT. This is the first time, well, not the first time, but this is, you know, a different composition to what they've played most recently. Almost all the time they've been playing this KO Gecko comp, where you're using the flashes, actually, to initiate off the back of. Here, FUT have to hold their ground a bit more and work that space denial utility, the mollies, the walls. Slow pace to open this round out.
Yeah, EDG's just going to be focusing on farming up the ults.
And I think the outsides of the map should be favored to EDG. The way that they're defaulting at the moment, it's kind of like 2-1-2 approach.
Chichu even just going for a couple of peeks down A short. Now, there's not too many chances into this round for EDG, but the more map control is given up for them, the more I might start to become a believer, even if they're working with the pistols. Smokes are now down and out. That's going to commit towards the mollies. The Dizzy did not get broken in time, so we're going to be pushed out of the back of the site here, but they still, EDG forced to respect most of the mollies coming their way. Plant from Simon is committed. The Cease does connect, but there's nothing else again to follow up with this one, so we see that extension into the post. The only difference is they don't have the rifles, but again, that might not stop EDG. Haunt, Sees, I should say, Dizzy, Satchel, are put over now with a showstopper pre-fired. He was just following the trails there, and the rifle spray down. Kang trying to relieve that pressure. Fallen, sticking, have onto the defuse. Needs to be something to offload and push this one back, but sticking it all the way to safety. Despite the kills that are flooding in from EDG, damage definitely done to the economy, but a round win FUT will be happy to walk away with.
Absolutely the case, but FUT should not have allowed it to get that close. They also would have liked to win that round without having to use the showstopper, because now they have an enormous ult disadvantage heading into the rifle round. So I think, all in all, even though the scoreboard would disagree, that's a bit of a win for Edward Gaming.
Yeah.
EDG's ults in particular are the thing to be paying attention to here, but also a massive clash over towards Sand.
Yeah, this one is about to be a brawl in the skirmish. Prowler disrespected EDG. He's way ahead of it. He's traded. Thrash just biting at the heels there. The captain's going to be detained, caught. Orbital strike collected, slowed to a crawl, and no more. Brought down. Not expecting this though. Mr. Fallen just anchoring, holding it down, locked down the position, but finally struck from behind. But it's a little bit too late here for Smoggy. Brings it to that 1v2 with the spike hard committed into the site. Again, hard task ahead of him. Pre-firing away into the corners. Doubled up is all it takes from FUT, that discipline.
EDG.
It's tough to criticize, but I think EDG, I mean, they're going to take a tag time out here, but I think they needed to call a slowdown in the round
EDG.
once they got that ult combo.
Yeah.
They had an enormous player advantage, but they just made it super obvious which side they were hitting, and the rotates were already on the way from A. They also had a very late player coming up B long. And in the end, that anchoring player, Mr. Fallen, did so much to win FUT the round there. That's huge ult investments. They had plenty of time when they were coming through hookah there. They could have slowed things down and just been happy with the fact that they had them on the back foot, had a Thrash orbital strike combo. A bit of panic, chaos, thrown into the calling there for EDG. Small things, but they're going to make the difference when you get the champs. I think nobody had a blinder of a game on Lotus too. Just the utility and the way that he was setting up his teammates, and also minimizing his feeding plays, which are, like, that's a genuine thing when it comes to nobody.
It is, yeah, sometimes he's...
But right now he's 0-7 on Bind, and it's not because he's throwing his life away. It's just he's not being able to find those kills that his team kind of relies on him to get those like trade kills, being able to get a random pick in one of these tumultuous situations.
Right place, right time.
Gonna need to see that
literally
newcomer to the IGL role step up for EDG.
EDG opted into the attack side operator here for Kang. This is they do pull this out from time to time. The footage I've watched, the trouble is they sometimes don't really know what to do with themselves when they're not offered these easy pickoffs.
They do tend to play quite a bit slower with Kang's op. But
okay,
immediately it finds value.
Yeah, it gets it straight down. Almost to get at him out. A short. And with EDG gone as well, at this point, could make a few plays, but risks have to be played here by FUT as well. Seeking to offset the disadvantage. Chichu was almost there, man. Almost good enough, just dancing around the bullets for a moment, but just couldn't reset the aim in time.
I like the call here to drive it quickly into B. Mr. Fallen's got to realize quickly that that's what's going on. Ada Captain might be screwed here.
Yeah, he's fully revealed up here. There's too much to deal with the Dizzy overloading him. Damage done potentially through the bodies as well. He's played Mr. Fallen in, but again, tip-tap at the rifles. Tip-tap at the shoes as well. Great movement from the EDG players, enough to survive into this one here. Kang will lock down that sight line. Nobody to be able to step past that one. Elbow control has been given up. CNED might be the playmaker. No, brought down to his knees. So just the one and it's cracks. They seem to be acutely aware exactly where he might be playing from. Chooses to back away, knows it's an impossibility.
Bit of a misread from Mr. Fallen. He thought that the EDG team was going to react by going down short, the player where they just managed to take down EDG. He was running over to the A side to try to reinforce that spot, didn't realize everyone on EDG barreling towards B. Nice call, right when we were just talking about the macro, nobody needing to find his moments. Mid-round in there ended up working quite nicely. A reaction to those two players pushing out showers.
Let's take a look at this one. Ah, beautiful.
Did you need the headshot?
Yeah. All off the back of that one. So when EDG do get those opening pickoffs with Kang, the operator played a slower round. It does work out for them. Now with a buy, a little bit all over the place. You know, you see CNED, he's got this outlaw. You'd have to be precise with it so you get real good value. Horn's not broken. EDG know that Showers has given up, but the timing's off in terms of FUT, just trying to make sure that they crunch that one. So mosh pit through. Alongside the C's nade, it's all committed nice and early. That's a lot of big tools that FUT would like to use to try and stunt and stop a fast exec. Not that's really any time coming soon with EDG playing his attack side op.
No, they're going to be slow. They're going to be looking for picks. And FUT at some point may peek for info. Similar to how EDG was going for that jump peek, he'll have thought he was safe there, trying to take the safer option in the previous round. But of course, there's only so many ways that you can grab info without facing your body into a dangerous spot. EDG is working his way forwards again. What a risk.
Yeah, super risky. Just don't know where this operator's going to be, and not just that, you don't know where the players are going to be. Chichu, able to punish. Make him think twice about it. EDG going to be paying with his life yet again. Cracks. So he's going to play spoiler inside the smoke. Has to dodge most of the util coming his way, including the bullets. Nobody with the plan as well. Here's that reload, but sprays away and does reveal his position. Seen it up and over the top. He's praying that a head will be revealed to him, but nobody graceful enough to oblige. So this Lamps controls the aim of the game here for EDG. Haunt wraps its way through into the back. Nobody's going to be spotted. Orbital straight from Captain. Good to clear this one through and away. Dizzy, but over the top at the wall. Gives him that cover. Kang full running. Oh. Get the hell out of here. It's a ridiculous adjustment, and Simon's still locking down control. FUT have no more chances available to them, and CNED has to concede the space, has to concede the round.
FUT are giving away too many early kills. I mean, EDG in this round taking an egregious risk, I think, getting caught by Shishu. But then also, what a whiff from Captain coming around the back as well. There are opportunities for FUT to be able to get back into these rounds, or to, you know, just stabilize and not give away the advantages at the beginning. But EDG are playing patiently, playing slowly with the op, and it's getting so much value because FUT are getting antsy, and it's forcing mistakes out of them. Maybe not even forcing the mistakes out of them necessarily. It's just the sheer lack of information. And FUT make the unforced error. We haven't seen a CNED Kang sniper battle yet today.
Yeah, not quite blessed with it. Might be coming up soon though. Both players in position. Much harder shot to land though. Warden to the face of CNED. You do not want to be peeking through that one. Kang looks his way up. Chichi was already there, way ahead of him. Making sure to cover. Firepower's there. First picks. Slow and steady as you go for EDG. So far, it's worked out in their favor. Just barely spots the leg. Damage done to Cracks, drops him down to 5 HP.
Captain incentivized to go aggressive. In a round like this, you got to take risks. It's not similar to the previous, where you wanted to minimize.
Bring them.
EDG putting a slow squeeze on FUT right now. It's working.
Both Prowlers going to be committed. They know that there's at least some presence out towards the hook angle. Util going to be used to push them back here. And the Captain is very much alone in this spot. Without too much to work with. Another round where EDG to get this plant down. Ults are really starting to become a problem soon as well.
Yeah, massive issue. I was wondering if Kang would even get the plant here, actually, to get his showstopper online, but I'm pretty sure he feels comfortable being able to pick up an ult orb. Captain going for a dance, seeing if he can get any closer to a range where the Stinger's favored.
He'll advise, though, to really just tango with this guy, Kang. Again, just so keen to lock down those angles. Earns up the showstopper. One away from a multitude of ults now, too. Nobody close to the Thrash. One away from the orbital strike as well for Smoggy. EDG, at this point, are primed and ready to run away with a half.
Yeah, I think this should be them dominantly winning the half. The last two rounds. They do have to drag some ults out of...
Yeah.
It's going to stop them from controlling really important sightlines. It's going to make it much easier for FUT to deny plant.
And the A side is just entirely split up in twine.
If they go through the teleporter, EDG is waiting.
यार दिमाग दुख रहा है मेरा, नींद भी आ रही, मैं ले रहा हूँ नींद। मिलते हैं अगले वीडियो में, अभी के लिए बाय बाय, सी यू सून, बाय बाय।